it's not just about a ride. It's about raising this awareness, but also giving people hope, like people who do suffer from depression. It gave them that hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that was probably the main message. More important than the money, or more important than just me doing a ride. It was just about being able to help people in this way.
Edward Vernon, a pentathlon athlete, has returned home from competing at the London Olympic Games. Inspired by his mother, he's about to embark on an 1,100-kilometre journey from New South Wales to Victoria, aiming to raise money for the Black Dog Institute for depression and create awareness of the illness.
For me, there's one thing making the Olympics, and then the next thing about doing something to help people who, are in need. And I think Mum living with depression, I saw how much that had an impact on our family. So I thought to raise as much awareness as we could. An endurance event like going over the Snow Mountains, which will take 5 weeks, really parallels what Mum had to live with. I went through a lot of the communities which had suffered a lot through bushfire, drought and flood. I realised how depression affects farmers and people in isolated areas because of these issues. The more I did the trip and the further I went, the more people I met who would never speak about it and who never spoke about it before, but because I was coming through, they felt like I was someone to talk to, and they just absolutely tell me their whole life story, and I was just a stranger, but for them this was their one opportunity in their life to be able to talk to someone about it. I mapped out the Bicentennial National Trail, but reaching this point in the national park, there'd been a lot of bushfires, a lot of the undergrowth had just grown so much that a lot of these trails were totally overgrown and impassable. And this was, at this stage, we had no support vehicle. I had to get up to the next camp to get food for the night because I was out of food at this stage. And every track I'd go along to try and get up to the campsite was overgrown. So late afternoon I realised that I was in some serious strife and that my only option was to try and find an alternative campsite. That night was really worrying because I still didn't know whether I could get through, how I was going to get through. The GPS wasn't working. I knew where I was, but I didn't know how to get out of there, and that was pretty scary. Having a parent with depression, I've realised is such a debilitating illness. Sometimes you don't really want to talk about it and talk about the situation, but it needs to be brought to life a lot more. Mum is such a courageous person, and she really made a really strong effort to keep us out of that. But there's some days where it was really clear that she was quite sick. I spent a large amount of the journey riding along by myself, but at the end, I finished the way I started, riding along with my mum, side by side, with huge amount of local support riding along with us. For me, that finish with my mum, crossing that finish line, was quite emotional and was really special. For me, it was just a ride, but for her, it meant so much more.